Welcome, 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 and welcome back to Seed Tarot. Welcome back to Seed Tarot. Today's reading will be channeled messages, and I can't tell you how happy I am for you to be joining us today for the reading. If you have a question, feel free to ask. You can type it in the comments, or you can simply think it in your mind, in your thoughts. But take a deep breath and send that question towards me, and I will answer it. This reading style is a shamanic one, meaning I am partially blindfolded and I am mainly channeling energy. I will be using cards and basing the entire reading off of what I feel energetically. The purpose of this reading is to reveal things unseen, to channel in on conversations unheard, but for the sole purpose of for your highest good, meaning that the desire is for an outcome that will serve you in the best possible way. It will benefit you for your soul's purpose. It will align you towards the divine. It will be good in every way possible. There is no part of this reading that is intent on hindering on anyone's privacy. All energies read, thoughts read, communications delivered to you must be willingly. We all have free will. And so the thoughts and communications that I tap into today will be free will, meaning if that person would allow me to enter into their mind, if you allow me to enter into your mind, if you allow me to enter into your heart, if you give me permission to enter your life experiences, that will grant me access. Understand this is a very safe place because the highest intention is for the good of all mankind. Meaning, it's positive, it's loving, it's kind, it's generous, it's giving. And what is shadow work? Shadow work is looking into the subconscious mind. Meaning, the parts of you you did not even realize existed, perhaps. So I will answer questions as they come, and I will weave them into the reading. I will be doing all 12 signs of the zodiac, starting with Aries and ending with Pisces. First of all, there is a question. And someone has a question about who their future spouse, what their future spouse is like. I'll give you 3 cards to answer that question. And predominantly, the nature of the question will be revealed at the bottom of the deck. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. This is a card of marriage. You see how that is similar to the way that an ordained minister would marry 2 people. The actual literal meaning, understanding of this card in a foundational sense, one of the many understandings of this card, this is a card of marriage. So regarding the nature of the question, if there is a question regarding marriage, this is your answer. Your spouse, your person the person you will spend the rest of your life with will be With the Six of Cups here, it will be someone from your past. It will be someone perhaps you grew up with. It may be someone who you feel like you can be playful with. Someone who has a very playful, youthful personality here. So there are children in this card. There's someone who you see yourself having children with. And again, it's a possibility. Nine of Pentacles, this is someone who likes luxury. Whoever this person is, they like to have nice things. Also, the way that this person is postured here almost looks like this is someone who's royal, like they have it all, okay? This is what your person wants for you. Your future spouse is someone who wants to spoil you, someone who wants to take care of you, someone who wants you to feel like royalty, someone who wants you to be divine. We also have the Queen of Pentacles here. This is someone who's very nurturing. The energy of this describes the type of person who is extremely nurturing and extremely generous. Extremely generous. Okay. We're going to go on to Aries. You are very welcome. You are always welcome. Spirits, universe, ancestors, guides, please provide messages for Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And once again, as I mentioned, this is a shamanic reading, meaning I am partially blindfolded and I am channeling the energy entirely based off of the intentions, the intentionality, the heart's desires. Okay? So at the bottom of the deck, we do have Queen of Pentacles here. Followed by the Four of Cups and the King of Cups. Aries. I'm seeing here subconsciously, in your subconscious mind, there's a desire. You want something. There's something that you really, truly want. And it could be something you've wanted for a long time, or it could be something that you just thought of. But something that you, whatever it is, it's something that you deeply fantasize about. In the Queen of Wands picture here, there's a very small rabbit here. Very small rabbit. There are many interpretations of this, but my ancestors divine is giving me a vision here very clearly that I can see, in which you spend a lot of time fantasizing, thinking very deeply in your thoughts about something. And this thing that you think about, that you fantasize about, that you dream about, quite literally dreams, you're having dreams about them, both when you're awake and when you are unconscious or you're subconscious, when you're sleeping. Okay? What you desire, you feel like it's out of reach. And with the Four of Cups here, this is rejecting everything and everyone other than what it is that you truly want here. Because you see here, this person's sitting here and they're not very happy. The divine is giving this cup here. Cups are emotions. Okay? There's an offer, and there's always an offer. There's always something being presented to you, Aries. But you're the type of person, if it's not what you want, you're not interested. And that's okay. However, there is a very, very big lesson here that the divine is trying to teach you. Okay? Very big lesson. And until that lesson is learned, you're going to continue to be in this karmic cycle in which you're going to continue to get more of the same. I will give you the key and the tool to breaking out of this pattern. Are you ready? The key is to fill your own cup. King of Cups is here. King of Cups, this is the energy that is going to support you. This is your key, quite literally. If this was an actual key, I'm seeing a vision of this card being an actual key, being able to open a door. You understand? This is the key to your emotionality. The King of Cups is someone who's extremely mature. Cups are emotions, okay? King, this is the card of being emotionally mature, okay? And there comes a point for you where you're going to be presented with an opportunity again. And this is divine saying, here, this is for you. You don't like that? How about this? How about this? How about this? And the divine's going to continue to bless you until you wake up one day and realize that with or without the relationship, with or without the person that you desire, with or without that house, that car, that thing, you know what it is, that thing that you want the most, with or without it, your cup is full. Do you understand? Because the entire time, there are 3 cups here right in front of this person. This is quite literally your energy right now. There are these 3 cups. You have blessings, you have opportunities here. And the more you continue to reject them, guess what? No judgment. The divine's going to continue to give you more with this extra cup coming right through the clouds there. There's a major lesson to be learned about gratitude. And regardless, you're going to continue to have wonderful things run into your life. But living in a state in which you desire more, you desire something that you do not have. What you are doing, and you are very powerful, very intelligent, very beautiful, very fascinating person, Aries. What you are able to do is manifest. But what you're doing is you're manifesting the same thing over and over. So when you feel the vibration or you think a thought, anything that sounds like, I wish I had this, or why can't I have that? What you're doing is you are attracting more of not having that. And the universe is going to continue to keep you in a state, to keep you in the life that you think it's that you don't want it, but clearly you do. Because when you live in that vibration, when you put that out there into the universe, that's what you get. And you're kind of confusing a little bit the universe because what you're saying is, I don't have this. I really want this. I want to be with this person. I really want to have this type of lifestyle. But translation, okay, because the way that the universe works is by numbers and numerology, okay? And it's very complex, but to simplify it, I will simply tell you this, okay? You're asking for more of what you don't have when you focus on what you don't have. Because when you focus on something, there's energy there. There's energy in how much you focus on something. So if you're the type of person who fantasizes and daydreams about the things that you want, you're an advantage because it's a very powerful way of bringing things into your life that you want. However, the minute you begin to question why you do not have fill in the blank, that is the moment that you have asked for something. Do you understand? Taurus. Spirits, guides, universe, ancestors, please provide messages for the highest good for Taurus. Taurus. Taurus, you have King of Cups here. You have Four of Wands. And you have Three of Pentacles. Okay. Taurus, you have someone in your life, but much like the image in this illustration where someone is holding this cup here, but they're kind of side-eyeing whatever it is that they're looking at. It's a sort of cynical, skeptical, not really believing. This is the energy of someone tells you that they care about you or they love you and you don't believe it. This is the energy of someone telling you, hey, the commitment that you want is on its way, because Four of Wands is union, is commitment. This is marriage. This is devotion. This is soulmate. This is the energy that we're getting at this very moment in time of the opportunity being there and you not believing in it. And what the divine is trying to teach you, your soul lesson, is that Three of Pentacles here, everything is a negotiation with you. Everything is a negotiation. And there's a lesson about that. When you go into this train of thought or this pattern of thinking in which you say to yourself, well, if they love me, they'll do this. Or if they really, really are interested in a commitment, they will do or say this. When you do that, you're starting a process of negotiating something that is meant to be natural, something that is meant to be a gift from the divine. Meaning, if the divine put a blessing in your lap right now, you wouldn't even know what it is. You wouldn't even recognize it. It's this energy of having a difficult time accepting love, having a difficult time accepting a message, having a difficult time accepting truth. And when there's a difficulty believing, and when someone tells you that they love you, when someone tells you that they care about you, when someone tells you that, hey, you are going to be blessed, that is called an unhealed wound. That's called a trauma. Okay, do you understand? And this trauma, this wound, could have been caused by a multitude, a series of unfortunate events in which you may have been betrayed. You may have been hurt very deeply. And now it has followed you to the point where you do want a caring and truthful relationship, but it's difficult to accept that. It's difficult to have that, Taurus. The key is becoming one with the divine, is learning to harmonize yourself. Meaning, go with the flow, Taurus. What's the rush? Easier said than done, but that is your key to liberating you from the pattern that you're in. Trust me. Gemini. Spirits, guides, ancestors, please provide messages for our highest good. Please provide messages for our beautiful Geminis. Okay, Gemini, you have Three of Pentacles. Do you notice how the first card at the bottom of the deck is the first card, is the last card from the previous reading? That's because we're going in order of the astrological signs. That is also a very good sign that we are in complete alignment with the energy. So let's be thankful and grateful for that. Okay, so Gemini, you have the Four of Swords and the Ace of Wands with Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Gemini, your healing is the center of this reading at this moment. That is a priority, and that should be your priority, Gemini. Because right now, there's an energy of critically appraising, critically examining. This is the energy of shopping around. It could quite literally be shopping in the 3 days. Someone has a retail addiction, okay? But also, this is the energy of not settling. This is the energy of having an abundant amount of desire. Ace of Wands. The divine's message for you, your lesson in this reading is about where you put your energy into. You have the desire to spend time with friends and to communicate and to socialize. But there's this completely other side of you that really just wants to spend time alone, I want to say. And there's this energy of wanting to rest and almost praying that something will work out for the best. Gemini, you also may have purchased something recently. And you are, again, it may have been something very risky, possibly, or quite literally spent a lot of money on. And you're hopeful. You're hopeful that it was a good investment. But in the past, you've gone through this before where you've spent money on something or someone and maybe regretted it later. The key to the situation is understanding that with a new opportunity, a new business venture, a new relationship, like in all things, sometimes there are things that are hidden. Sometimes there are things that are overlooked because you are so heavily influenced and focused on the energy itself of what is in front of you. This is the energy of being so thrilled to be in a new relationship, let's say, or the thought of deepening your connection with someone you're in a relationship with, and it's the energy of you don't even think about their flaws. To them you're perfect, and to you they're perfect. That came out as if they were saying it to me behind closed doors, because that's exactly what they said to me. To me they're perfect. Okay, so you both feel the same way about each other, clearly. But I want to say there is a little word of caution here from Spirit to slow down a little bit, because there's something being overlooked here. There's something you're not noticing about the situation because you're still high off of the love. That's that energy. You're so focused on the person almost. It's like a little bit of an obsession, which isn't a bad thing or a good thing. It's just, it is what it is. And quite literally, as I said, obsession, we have the Devil card, which this isn't a bad card. People don't understand what this card actually means. all they see is this horns and it seems bad. But truly, truly, the actual meaning of this card simply is just the energy of being obsessed about something. You can be obsessed about getting healthy, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be obsessed about a art project that you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. But that energy is coming through of being very hyper focused on a person or a relationship or a situation. We're going to go on to Cancer now. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask in the comments or in the chat. Cancer. I do have some trance music in the background with 432 hertz tones, which is a frequency and a healing frequency. And that is playing in the background that you can hear perhaps unless you're listening with headphones, you probably can't hear it, but that is all for your benefit. Okay. And this crystal here that I have on this selenite plate is a pyramid, and it's got gold in it, and it's got jasper and tourmaline, green tourmaline, and moonstone, and quite a few others. And this pyramid is made up of some really wonderful crystals that you can find right in nature. But they're very special because each one of them scientifically carry a different vibration and have a different purpose. I have a lot of videos where I teach about different types of crystals on my channel. You're more than welcome invited to check them out. After this, Cancer. Let's get some messages for you, Cancer. Okay. Well, the question that has come up, I will do Cancer's reading and then I'll answer your question. Okay. The World card. The World. Interesting. So, we also have the Two of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So, Cancer. Wow. There's an overflow of emotion here with the Ace of Cups, and I'm feeling this right now. There's an intense amount of emotional energy. Cups are emotion. And you're very emotional. I'm getting very specific people's lives, scenarios, and I'm experiencing them and feeling all those feelings. And I'm a little bit at a loss of words because I can't say that I understand. Everyone's life is very different. But all of you, this group of you, Cancer, have very similar traits in common, and that is this feeling of being undecided. Someone has received an opportunity for work, and they're torn. They're torn because if they pursue this job, it's going to separate them from someone or people that they love. This is a relationship or family. And it's a bittersweet feeling because the World card, this is travel, but this is also graduating. This is leveling up. So this opportunity is a blessing, and it's a great opportunity for you now and where you are right now. But it's bittersweet because pursuing this would mean having to leave behind other people. temporarily. For others of you, the world is quite literally opening up for you. And there's a promotion, a work promotion. There may be a brand new relationship on the way or a child on the way. There's some very good news that are coming, and it's going to require you, Cancer, to learn to balance your life, balance priorities. And the key to maintaining your balance lies within emotional stability, Cancer. So the key for you, message from the divine, is on learning to balance your emotions. Learning to balance your emotions. Recommendations for that, there are many essential oils that can possibly help depending on the type of emotions that you're feeling. Oils such as bergamot, ylang ylang, lavender, of course, and cedarwood oil. Some crystals that you may find soothing and helpful include lepidolite, clear quartz, rose quartz, selenite, and rhodolite. Okay, someone had a question here. Why am I having disturbing thoughts lately? Well, I would ask, what is considered disturbing to you? These thoughts that you're having, they're your thoughts. You've manifested them. They're disturbing you because you feel triggered. There's a layer, a filter, a part of your brain, part of your upbringing, part of society, what has taught you what disturbing is. And there's some part of it that seems bad. And I will tell you exactly what it means right now. And also why you're asking that type of question. You see, you are beginning to explore a little bit. You're beginning to expand your mind. You're beginning to venture into uncharted territories, into different waters than you've ever been before. I feel your energy. I see your soul at this moment. And I'm seeing a visual of you, of your soul. And you are in a very interesting place right now, spiritually. Do you know where the equator is? The equator is in Ecuador. There is a place in the world in which there is a line, actually, that divides both sides of the equator, both sides of the hemisphere. And it's called the halfway point, or the middle of the earth. And I'm getting this vision right now because my guides are trying to communicate with you through me by showing me this. That is where you are. You are at a point in your life where you're beginning to open up and become expansive to things that would be considered occult. Occult, like tarot reading, like crystals, like energy. And what your brain is doing, okay, I tell that I speak and I explain in scientific terms as well as spiritual, but what your brain is doing is, you have a brain, okay? And in psychology, this is also a phenomenon that occurs, but what your brain is doing is that it is beginning to have a little bit of a conflict between your ego. And there's a part of you that begins to almost judge yourself. And the moment you begin to judge yourself is when you begin to have thoughts that want to label things as good or bad, as disturbing or peaceful. So the divine would say to you, all of your thoughts are perfect, and wonderful, and there's nothing wrong with your thoughts or the way that you think. But your perception of them being disturbing, your perception of them being disturbing in itself is simply a judgment that you've placed upon yourself from the way that you've been thinking. It's very deep. It's very deep. And it's a difficult concept to understand. But this is part of what doing shadow work is all about, is learning about all those layers. Okay? When you're a baby, you do not know what a sky is. You don't know what the ocean is. You don't know what a cat or a dog is until someone tells you that is a cat, that is a dog, that is the sky, that is the ocean. Do you understand? You don't know until someone tells you. And if someone tells you that if you have a thought of spiders crawling all over you or a snake wrapped around you, or if you have thoughts about anything that would be considered disturbing or bad, that is the domestication, that is the impression, that is the imprint of filters, what you've been taught. It actually has nothing to do with you as a person or as a soul. Do you understand? Leo. We're going to go on to Leo now. Spirits, divine ancestors, please provide messages for our highest good. The messages for Leo. Leo. Leo, you have 6 of Swords, the Hangman, and King of Cups. Okay. Leo, you are in the energy of wanting to move on from all people, places, things, situations that make you feel like you have to sacrifice a part of yourself. That's what your soul is crying out for. If you're not aware of it, I'm telling you now, that is what your soul desire is. However, specifically, there is a little bit of a critical aspect to this. This is your shadow side coming through, showing me a part of you that criticizes those people who are not enlightened, people who may or may not be on the same level or journey as you, if that's how you want to say it. There's an aspect of the ego playing into this, and this is something that many of us teachers teach in the healing world about understanding that everyone is on a different journey, and being more connected, let's say, or more self-aware does not make you, or being more well-versed in understanding the spirits and understanding yourself, just because you may know how to meditate or you're in tune with yourself, does not make you any better or less than someone else. But there's a deep part of you that I want to say specifically with someone who is thinking about getting into a relationship with someone. But many of the people who they seem to be attracting are the people who, this is like, I'm clearly seeing a very, very specific situation of someone who's looking through dating apps and still dating and talking to people, but they keep getting disappointed because what they're noticing is that many of the people, the partners, potential partners, are not on the same path spiritually, and there is a desire to find someone who is. And when you don't have that, you kind of turn away and walk away. You turn away and you walk away. And it just seems too tumultuous, too chaotic. It feels like it would be too much, too stressful to be in a relationship with someone who does not have the same beliefs, or does not have the same faith as you, or who does not engage in the same practices that you do. There's also another situation where someone has left a situation, and now they're getting into a new relationship and they're trying to see things in a different way. They've learned a lot from their past, and they've become very emotionally mature, very emotionally mature. And so now they're bringing into the new relationship an entirely new and different way of thinking and feeling and interacting, communicating. There's a book called Nonviolent Communication. Someone is thinking about purchasing that book, Julio, and if you are not, I highly suggest it, because I'm having this vision of you reading that book. It would be very helpful to you. I don't know where that thought came from, but it was just given to me just now. It may be very important for you. I don't know the author, but a book titled Nonviolent Communication. Okay, Virgo. Virgo. I'm picking up already on some type of energy related to a soulmate. Someone searching for their soulmate. Virgo. That is the most dominant energy. It's like heavy, heavy energy. The desire to be with a soulmate or to find a soulmate. Interesting. Wheel of Fortune. This is all about destiny. This is all about the energy of wanting things that are destined, like a soulmate. This is the energy of a twin flame, soulmate. This is the energy of having a desire for things to work in your favor, for luck. And for Virgo, we have two feminine energies here. We have Queen of Cups and we have Nine of Pentacles. So the message for Virgo is, I clearly see you visualizing, daydreaming, fantasizing about having something that's destined for you. There's something that you want that you feel like you wouldn't get it. Almost like this could be a relationship that you want that you feel like is a little bit out of reach. It's almost the energy of desiring someone who is out of your league, maybe, or someone who is far away. Also, this could be a distance relationship. It's like you have to send messages back and forth, and that's your only way to communicate with this other person is by texting or email. And you spend a lot of time outside of when you're speaking with them, just thinking about them and fantasizing about the future. And there's this energy of waiting for the right time to come, waiting for the right time to be together here, waiting for the right time. Okay. Shadow side. So the shadow side of you right now, Virgo, is being overindulgent. Being overindulgent. You like nice things. You like to buy nice things. You like to have nice things. That energy is coming through, and there's a shadow that's revealing something for you. It's a lesson for you to learn about that. Also, the energy of being very critical. There's a theme. Do you see now? There is a very heavy theme here about criticism. With the Queen of Cups here, you're very critical of emotionality. This could be like criticizing the way you feel. This is specifically shame or guilt. It's it's the feeling of feeling guilty or being ashamed, being criticizing someone because of that. It's the energy of you wanting to shame someone for some reason because of the way that they feel about something. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just revealing to you the shadow side, the things that you do not see about yourself. Okay. Libra. 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 Let's take a look, Libra. Spirits, guides, ancestors, please provide messages for our highest good. Please provide insight. Libra. Show us the shadow. Any aspect that can help benefit them in their lives today. Perfect. Page of Swords, you're learning something new. You're training for something. Someone's may actually be working out as they're watching this video, or will be watching this video while they work out. I don't know why that just came out. Also, someone is newly communicating with someone about something, and they have an expectation. Someone is expecting something. Someone's also expecting a reward for all of their effort and hard work. Someone's also trying to save up money here for Libra. What's the shadow side? The shadow side is a lack of experience and really not knowing much about something or someone, and yet having an expectation. This is the energy of walking into a situation to communicate with someone about something you know nothing about, but expecting things to just work out. This is the energy of being unprepared, which is very unlike you, Libra. So then, of course, this is your shadow side. There's a side of you that is not truly yourself. It comes from somewhere else. And this is related to an unhealed wound or trauma. And you are completely unprepared to walk into a situation with a masculine energy I'm seeing here. Also, interesting. There's also the energy of someone approaching or someone wanting to communicate with you and you turning your back on them. There's the energy of pursuing someone because of their finances. Also, these are very specific messages here today. That's the shadow side of someone. There's an insecurity when it comes to finances. That started in your childhood. You may have been the type of person who grew up in a household which you didn't have much, or you were very poor, and grew up and struggled a lot, or watched your parents, your mom, or maybe you were raised by a grandparent, or maybe you were adopted, but the energy of like just not having much. And because you didn't have much, what you look for in a partner is someone who can provide for you financially. You want someone who can take care of you. It's also the energy of someone who has like worked their butt off and spent a lot of time working very hard. And so for that reason, they're not really interested in pursuing any kind of relationship with someone who cannot provide for them financially. Okay, moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio. What do we have for you, Scorpio? I'm about to get some dark cards today. Let's get Really dark cards. Spirits, guides, ancestors, please provide messages for our highest good. Please provide messages for our highest good. Scorpio. We need to know, Scorpio. Show us their shadow side. Scorpio, you have Eight of Wands here, followed by Page of Cups and Seven of Wands. Communication. Regarding communication. This is about communication and a message, an emotional one at that. The Seven of Wands is some kind of conflict, a fight, being defensive. Right away, there's one very clear message, and really the most dominant energy that I'm reading at this time, which is regarding being defensive when communicating. Scorpio, that is your shadow side. You immediately go on the defensive when you're communicating. And when it's something that's an emotional topic, something that you're emotionally invested in, you tend to become very, very defensive. That's your knee-jerk reaction. There's nothing here about me looking at things rationally and saying that you want to look at it logically. The minute there's an emotion involved, that's your shadow side. Okay? You don't realize this, you don't see this about yourself, but this is what you're putting out there to the world. This is what everyone else notices about you that perhaps you don't. When you communicate. Also, there may be a lot of things coming at you right now in your life, lots of things happening in your life right now. And it could be a good thing because maybe you've thought about having lots of certain things happen in your life, or you've communicated with someone about having certain things in your life, and now all of a sudden everything is happening, and it's happening quickly, and it's happening so fast that you're struggling, you're really struggling and kind of fighting. It feels like a fight every day. When you wake up, it's like time to hustle, like right away, there's just work to be done. And there's a lack of rest. And that's a message from Spirit, is to, the word of caution is to take care of yourself and rest, because that is what is going to elicit that knee-jerk response of becoming defensive when someone wants to communicate with you about something that makes you feel emotional. It's automatic triggering. And if you have not gotten enough sleep, or you have not had enough to eat, or you have not drank any water, you're not taking care of yourself. Okay, you're not showering or taking care of your body. What's gonna happen is you're gonna be even more easily triggered, and you're gonna become very defensive every single time someone wants to communicate with you. Sagittarius. Spirits, guides, ancestors, divine, please provide messages for Sagittarius. Show us the shadow side, show us the things that we do not see. Sagittarius. Ooh, it just got really hot all of a sudden. Wheel of Fortune. King of Pentacles. The Tower. Wow. Okay. Sagittarius. There is someone here, Sagittarius, who the time has come for you to really look at your life, really reflect on your life, on what you've accomplished, or maybe what you have not yet accomplished. The time has come for you to examine carefully the decisions you made. And the shadow side is coming through. It's like when you do think about your life, you have a lot of regrets. And it's the energy of waking up one day and having a sudden realization that maybe you may have wasted so much time on someone or something or a situation, or you've wasted so much energy. You've wasted so much money, maybe. It's one of those. It's just feeling like everything is a mess. Right? It's complete chaos. And that's your shadow side coming through. And the reason why that's happening, the answer to freeing yourself from this imprisonment of your thoughts about your past and your life choices is understanding deeper knowledge, a deeper lesson, which is that your dissatisfaction or your discontentment or being unhappy and feeling like time was wasted or money was wasted or effort was wasted comes from an unhealed wound. That is a trauma, something unhealed, part of you that experienced something in your life that began to distort the way that you see time, the way that you see money, the way that you see effort. And rather than living in a state of gratitude and being present, what you've done now is you've created a matrix within your own life where you have all these expectations. Your expectations themselves, I'm literally getting this vision and seeing this bottle. It's like a potion bottle, and the label on it says expectations. And someone is pouring this bottle, this potion, into this body of water, and it's turning the water from this clear blue to like a murky type of water. Okay? And that water is your consciousness. That water is your mind. So having expectations has become poisonous. And it's poisonous because now that you're having so much distortion in your thoughts, it's chaos, you're confused. All you do is go into a pattern of wondering why? Why did I do that? I totally regret that. I shouldn't have done that. Or I wonder if I would have done this. I could have, should have, would have. Release yourself from having expectations, and that will liberate you. That will allow the wheel of fortune, this wheel, to turn in your favor and to help you move karmically, to ascend from that lower vibration of thinking and that pattern, that toxicity, to the next step. Capricorn. Spirits, guides, ancestors, divine, please provide messages for our highest good. Messages for Capricorn. Capricorn. Capricorn, I think you've been overthinking. Capricorn. Spirits, guides, universe, divine, give us messages for Capricorn. Show us their shadow. Reveal to us the unseen. Capricorn, you have Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is overthinking. Okay? Nine of Swords is losing sleep. With the Fool card and the Magician, you've been doing way too much all at once. You've taken on so much onto your plate. You keep stacking up things, stacking up ventures, plans, goals, when really you're headed towards a season where the divine really just wants you to take a break and rest. Because if you don't stop and slow down, you're not going to be able to see the blessings that are right in front of you. You're also not even going to notice that person who may have a potential to be the person that you spend the rest of your life with. There's also the energy of being in a relationship with someone and not even noticing them anymore because you are just so busy. You're busy jumping into from one new plan, one new project into the next project, and really being a consumer. You're being a consumer right now. You're in this energy of spending a lot more time with yourself, reading books, watching videos, listening to music, doing things on your own without interacting with other people. Also, Capricorn. You're also, there's a different story here, but there's someone else here. Their energy is coming through little by little. Someone who is really stressed out because you're not sure whether or not they should do something because it feels like it might be a risk, a big risk. And what the divine is saying, and you feel like it's a risk because you feel like you don't have the knowledge maybe or the tools to do it. But with the magician here, that's how the divine is supporting you. You will have everything that you could possibly want or need to accomplish your goal, whatever that is. Romantically, there's also a situation where someone has met someone, but they're not really sure if that person has the potential to be with them because maybe there's a certain quality, like it's the energy of someone has like those checklists, like they have a list of all the qualities that a person should have, like their ideal person. And maybe there's a few things on there that someone you've met is not meeting that list. They're lacking, they're deficient in a few areas. You're not sure on whether you should move forward or walk away. But the divine's message is that that person does have everything that they need to make you happy. But those things that you're desiring for them, those qualities that you want them to have, really doesn't come from you. It has nothing to do with your desires. It has more to do with an unhealed trauma, a wound. That's your shadow side coming through, which is about very similar to Libra, which is looking for or being invested in finding someone who may have maybe financially secure because you're seeking a partner who's more financially secure, or seeking a partner who is more sensitive or more romantic or whatever. Aquarius and Pisces, and then we are done. Aquarius, spirits, guides, universe, provide messages for our highest good for our lovely Aquarius. Show us things that are unseen. Reveal to us their shadow side messages. Okay. Aquarius. We're in a completely different energy now. I'm feeling very like lighthearted all of a sudden. Okay, so Aquarius, you have 3 of Cups. This is friendship, which is very important to you. This is celebration. This is a special event that may have been happening. Page of Swords and 4 of Cups. Aquarius. This is Hermit card, Major Arcana overall. That's coming from the divine. But there's an energy here about being invited somewhere, or someone communicating that they would like you to join them. There's some sort of friendship here offering here, and someone's rejected it. This may be on your end or the other person's end, but there is this desire to be alone, and which is not very like you, Aquarius, unless you're completely introverted and have lots of Scorpio in your chart, but in your birth chart. But Aquarius, I am seeing here the energy of not wanting to celebrate or interact, and there's a message coming through, and you rejecting it. You don't want to go. There's just something happening, an event, a trip somewhere you don't want to go. I'm also seeing here a situation where there was an event or there was a gathering that you attended, and you may have met someone who seemed a little bit arrogant, and it was something that you didn't particularly like. There's a quality about someone or the way that someone communicated with you that made you feel rejected as well. Interesting. And that shadow side is about your shadow, the unhealed wound, the trauma, has to do with rejection. You have a long history of having these repressed emotions regarding rejection, because there was a time in your life where you were rejected in the past because of some qualities that you may have about your personality. Is very unique, very different. There's a lifestyle that you live that's very different than other people, and you experience painful rejection, and that is still unhealed. Okay, you may have done some work on yourself, but it's not completely healed. So the key to that, the key to liberating yourself from that sense of rejection, that shame that comes with that, those painful memories, lies in forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself. Why? Because it's not forgiving others for being cruel to you, or bullying you, or making fun of you. It's about forgiving yourself for living your life believing in those lies that was told to you. Because your conscious self may say, well, no, I don't care what people think about me. You may be the type of person who actually probably says that phrase a lot. I don't care what people think about me. But you know what kind of people say, I don't care what people think about me? The type of people who really care about what other people think about them. Okay, it's reverse psychology. Like literally, you almost trick yourself into thinking that you don't believe it. But the deeper part of you, subconscious part of you, does believe the lies, the names that they called you. Pisces, spirit, guides, divine universe. You need to provide us with messages for our highest good. Reveal to us the things that are unseen for our highest good. Pisces. Pisces. Okay. Pisces, you have 5 of Wands. You're in conflict. You're conflicted. Interesting. The Hierophant again. The Hierophant always comes out in my readings no matter what I do. Okay. So, 5 of Wands, Queen of Swords, and the Hierophant. All right. So, I'm seeing a few different situations here. Someone's been divorced, okay? Someone is on their way towards divorce. Someone is seeing someone else, but is thinking about divorcing their spouse because maybe it's a situation where you're legally married, but you're not actually with them. And I'm seeing here another situation where it's someone who is internally conflicted because someone has recently communicated with them that they want either married or divorce. But there's something here about marriage component, as well as a major lesson regarding a conflict, fighting, and communication with the Queen of Swords and the Five of Wands. Your shadow side, Pisces, the shadow side of this is related to the energy of there's someone who has recently discovered that someone they have been interested in is actually married. Or is the energy also of someone who has recently discovered that someone else is in a committed relationship with someone else? Or perhaps they've been hiding it. And the reason why that shadow side or that lesson is on your end is because you attracted or you manifested this experience. You attracted this committed person into your life. And there's an unhealed wound or trauma associated with being attracted to or manifesting people in your life who are unavailable. People who are unavailable emotionally, physically, mentally. You're attracted to someone who you can't actually be with. And if you're asking yourself, why do I always attract people who I can't actually be with? The answer lies in what you just said. Why do I keep attracting? That places the burden or responsibility back on you. But of course, we're revealing the things that are unseen. You don't realize this about yourself. And if you don't have any awareness of it, that leaves you powerless to change anything. Powerless to change anything. And right as I said, that Eight of Swords is this card of powerlessness and self-imprisonment. It's like you're doing this to yourself and you don't know how to get yourself out of it. But like these ties are very loosely wrapped. This person can very easily just like break out of this, take off the blindfold and walk away. But they don't know how. And the reason why there's a powerlessness is because it's subconscious. That's my chest just got really tight. Someone has a very intense heart chakra blockage. Like it's not even funny how intense that was. You would benefit from some deep shadow work. I would encourage you to look into the Shade program on Spotify. If you have Spotify, if you type in planting seeds, if you type in seed tarot, you'll probably see a playlist come up introducing you to the Shade program. You may also benefit from some Reiki, some energetic healing, especially for your heart chakra. Okay. Let's look at the overall message for the collective 12 zodiacs. I shuffle a few more times until it feels right. Okay. One more time. So today's video was about diving deep into the shadow side, the subconscious mind, which is essentially looking at the mind and the way that people think. And this is about limitations. Okay. The bottom of the deck here, final card, is the Devil card. This is quite literally the card that tells us the major arcana that talks about being in your thoughts. And this is a shadow side. This is subconscious beliefs, limiting beliefs, obsessions, those unhealed wounds, those traumas. There's parts of you that still need to be healed. And I'm here to assist you on your journey and to guide you and to pull you out from wherever you are. And I have this rope. I have this rope here, a spiritual rope here that I'm here to share with you. And it's an extension here, a lifeline. And as a shaman, I'll be able to guide you to the spirit world and back safely. Be able to confront those unhealed wounds, those traumas, those repressed memories. And through the tarot, with the readings, but also in the program where you'll be guided through a series of exercises in the Shade program, that's what it's called, you will be liberated, you will be freed from many of those limiting beliefs and thoughts. Okay? So that is all that I have for you here today. Be blessed, be well, be aware, be enlightened, be love, and be love itself. Till next time.